How are you? Sorry to hear that. I got your paperwork sent over from your otolaryngologist. And so, okay, I see that you have been experiencing some diminished hearing off and on and feeling pressure like you need to pop your ears. How long has this been going on? Okay. Have you been swimming at all? How about, have you been listening to any loud music? Yes. Okay. Have you experienced a cold or any kind of congestion in your nose, sinuses? Not that you're aware of, okay. How about postnasal drip? Are you feeling a scratchy throat at all? And, okay, last question. Have you been noticing any kind of drainage from your ears? No. Okay. Well, we will take a look here. Let's see. First, let me put on some gloves. Well, I'm sorry that you're having to deal with this. It's not fun. Especially when your hearing is affected. Okay. So, the first thing I'd like to do is just sort of feel around your ears. I'm looking for any swollen lymph nodes, tender spots, anything outside of what we consider normal, okay? Okay. So let me know if anything is uncomfortable. Okay. So, is it okay if I touch you? Thank you. Okay. So, just feeling around. We have parietal lymph nodes located in front of the ears. Sometimes, if they are present on exam, it can be a clue as to what's going on. I don't feel anything though. This is okay. Let me know if that changes. Just feeling down the neck. Then under the chin. I'm not feeling anything, but I'm gonna just feel behind just to make sure. far there's no presence of occipital nodes. These usually don't indicate an issue in the ear, but every now and then our bodies can work in strange ways. So that exam is negative. So let's take a look inside your ears, shall we? Okay. So, excuse me. Starting on this side, let's take a look here. Okay. Oh, I don't see any redness or swelling or narrowing of the ear canal. Don't see any kind of fluid present. It's hard to say. There might be some fluid around the tympanic membrane, but I cannot get a clear visual this way. Check the other side. Put myself a little closer, sorry. Okay. Is this okay? Very good. I don't see any redness, swelling, or induration on this side either. The ear canal does look a little more narrow than the other side. Not sure, but there might be some fluid around the eardrum on this side. I'm gonna have to take a closer look. Okay. So, alright. Let's take a quick peek in your throat, okay? Okay. So, open up for me. Good. Okay, I do see a little bit of redness. No actual drainage, but redness does indicate that there may be some drainage going on. Okay. Take a quick peek in your nose, okay? Just gonna slide this in. Okay, other side. Okay. Don't see any drainage in the nose, but the redness present, and the back of the throat does indicate that we may have some drainage, which can be a side effect of having an ear infection, because when that drainage comes from the ear, it goes down the throat. That's the only place for it to go, which can be one of our ways of diagnosing the issue. However, I'm not seeing enough drainage for me to feel certain in that diagnosis, so we're going to do some different testing here. And because you've been listening to some loud music, I think what we're going to do to start is some acoustic reflex testing, just to make sure that the intratympanic muscles, the little muscles that are around your ears, are contracting appropriately to sound. So their job when you hear loud noises, particularly noises that are startling, are to contract to protect the eardrum. But sometimes their threshold can be thrown off, especially if we've been listening to a lot of loud music or around a lot of loud noises. So I just want to rule out that that's the case. I don't think it is, but you never really truly know unless you test. So, okay, this is a pretty simple test. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a little probe into your ear. And this isn't painful, it's not going deep. It's just going to go superficially in the canal, but it has a little camera with a magnifier, and so I'm just going to put it in your ear and sort of around a little bit to get a clear visual of the eardrum. It's going to play a sound and then measure whether or not the muscles are contracting and also how much they're contracting. Okay? Okay. So, just power him on. Okay. See, it just has a little light. And we'll start with your left ear first. So, you ready? Okay. That's going to put this in around the corner here. Okay. So then you're going to hear a tone. Good. And again. Alright. Is that okay? Okay, good. So then, I'm going to do the other side here. So, okay. Feel my probe lightly going into the ear and around the corner here. Okay. So you're going to hear that tone again. Reposition just a little. Okay. And again. Good. So, one moment, I'm just going to take a look at my computer, okay? Just to see. Pardon my knees. Okay. reflex threshold is in fact in normal range, so that rules out any presence of lesions or conductive hearing loss. Okay. So, okay, just taking a look here at the notes from your ENT. Have you ever had tympanometry testing done? Okay. Basically what it is a test to check the eardrum itself. So it does a similar thing where it plays a tone, but it also will puff a little air into the ear to see how the eardrum is moving. And oh yeah, they move. So basically what the eardrum is a very thin membrane, and when we hear sounds it vibrates. That's how we hear the sounds. So loud noises can make it vibrate a lot, and quieter noises make it vibrate less so, but so can air in the ear. So by using both sound as well as some puffs of air in your ear, we're able to get a better idea of whether or not the eardrum is able to move correctly, and whether or not something is present in the ear like fluid, which can prevent the membrane from vibrating appropriately. And there are other causes as well, but what I suspect is that there might be some fluid in the middle ear. So this is going to let us, analyze and see if that is in fact the case. So, okay. One moment. Just need to make sure that my printer is turned on so that way we're able to print your tympanogram and analyze it afterwards, okay? Okay, so our machine is turned on really quickly. I'm just going to take a little swab of the outer portion of the ear just to make sure that we're not pushing any wax further into the ear canal, which can throw off our readings, okay? Now, generally, we advise against ever using any kind of Q-tip in the ear, but I'm just going to be very superficially cleaning, so it shouldn't affect the inner ear at all. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick clean here. Now the other side here. Still feeling okay? Good, okay. So, first, let me just put a protective sheath over the tympanometer. Looks like we have a brand new package. Okay. So this is going to go into your ear. Okay. Similar to an ear thermometer, actually. And so you're going to feel some puffs of air. Then you're going to hear a tone, not feel a tone. So it's very important that during this testing you stay completely still. Any sort of shifting in movement, even a cough, can throw off the results. We need to make sure that these are accurate, okay? Okay. So let's start with your left ear, okay? And just powering on. Okay. Just making sure it's connecting. Okay. So I'm gonna feel under your ear. Okay. Does that feel okay? It's not uncomfortable. Okay, good. So you'll feel that puff of air. Okay. Followed by a second puff. Good. Now you'll hear a tone. Right as I said that. One more. Okay. Not too bad, right? Not bad. Okay. So then I'm going to do the other side. So, okay. Alright. So again, you're going to feel that first puff of air. Good. And then the second. Okay. And now for the first tone. the next one. Good. Okay. All right. Remove this and return this to its crate. Give me just a second. I'm going to grab your tympanogram off of the printer. Okay. So looking here, you can see we have these two peaks. And where I'd like to see the peak is actually somewhere over in this vicinity. This box indicates normal range. And as you can see, they are peaking slightly before the box. This one in particular is peaking before the box. So what this tells me is that there is some fluid in the middle ear, affecting both ears, but more so the left. This is consistent with an ear infection of the middle ear, which explains the pressure as well as the diminished hearing. So, alright, what you're going to do while you're here is try a few solutions. The first one's going to be the simplest, which is we're just going to put some warm compresses on the ear, see if we can't encourage some drainage. And if we can't, what I will do is actually insert a little tube into the ear, into each ear, that's going to help that fluid drain. Oh, don't worry, I will anesthetize around the ear, so you shouldn't feel anything. It's just a local anesthetic. It's not going to put you to sleep. Okay? Yeah. We will take out the tubes once the infection has resolved, and then your ears should be back to normal, right? Okay. Let me go grab some compresses here. So I'm just going to need to pop them. Okay. So I'm just going to hold these over your ears, okay? And if this works, you will feel some draining. And if it doesn't, then we'll proceed to the next test, okay? Okay. So, this is okay, it's not too warm. Okay. Let me know if that changes and I can wrap paper towel around both of these. doing okay? Sorry, I just need to reposition just a little bit. Are you feeling any kind of drainage or anything releasing? No? Okay. How about now? Any change? I'm going to remove these. Put them to the side. Just take a look again inside of your ears. So, let's see if any of that drainage released at all. It's looking like a no on this side. And yeah, I'm not seeing any drainage present in the canal. Okay, so it's looking like we're going to need to insert some tubes, okay? So I'm going to be giving you a local anesthetic, okay? So you'll feel that, but after a few seconds it'll be numb. So you're not going to feel this at all. Even if the anesthetic doesn't work, you'll just feel a little bit of pressure, okay? Okay, so give me just a second to get that prepared. follow my equipment here. First thing I'm going to do is just clean the ears. Okay. The alcohol might be a little cold. Okay, so now I'm just gonna numb. Okay. To start, I just want you to take a deep breath with me, okay? So in, good, and out. Okay. You're gonna feel a little poke. Okay. A little bit of burn. Good. Then it should be numb. We'll test that in just a moment, okay? Okay. So on this side, just a little poke. Good. Little burn sensation. And then numb. Very good. Okay. So real quick. Get a little closer here. Can you feel this? Good. How about here? Okay. And on the other side. Anything? How about here? Good. Okay. Perfetto. That's what I like to see. Okay. So, 1 second here. Okay. So, I got this little speculum. It's just going to go in the ear canal. Just open just a little bit. Okay. You shouldn't feel it. If you feel anything at all, it would be some mild pressure, okay? Okay. tube here. And okay. So, you ready to begin? Good, okay. Alright. Just hear my instruments here, okay? The first one is in place. Let's just take a quick peek just to make sure it's correctly positioned. Okay, yep, that's exactly where I want it. Good, okay. Alright. And your other ear. Okay. I'm gonna really close up because I want to make sure you have the steadiest hands. Check. This side as well. Alright. Okay. Perfect. This side is exactly where I wanted it positioned as well. Okay. So that should help your ears start to drain. Okay. It's going to give it a passage. It's going to give the drainage a passage to be able to evacuate from the ear. Okay. I'm also going to write you a prescription for some antibiotics so that we can also treat the infection as well as allowing the drainage to be expressed. Okay. So who is your pharmacy? Okay. And okay, so you do have an allergy to sulfa. Okay, so it looks like Bactrim is out. Have you taken Augmentin in the past? How did that go? Any side effects or? Okay, good. Okay. So that is what we will use. So it is just an oral antibiotic. I'm gonna have you take it twice a day, okay? I'm going to give you a 7-day supply. Okay, so giving you a 7-day supply that you're going to take twice a day, so 14 pills total. At the end of that, I want you to come back in so we can reevaluate. If symptoms are no longer present and I'm not seeing any fluid in the ears, we can go ahead and remove those tubes, okay? But first, I want to make sure that everything is resolved. So make sure on your way out that you stop at the front desk to get that next appointment scheduled, okay? Okay. So if you need anything in the meantime or have any questions, give my office a call. Okay? Okay. Speaking of, do you have any questions before I step out? Okay. Well, let me know if that changes, okay? We also have an answering service for after hours, and I can be paged at any time, so I will for sure get back to you. Okay. It was nice to meet you. We'll talk soon.